Bharti Infratel, Z Entertainment, a lot of more pressure on ONGC. Bajaj Finance recovering from significantly low levels, still down 10%. Maruti Suzuki, BPCL and Axis Bank among others, which have taken quite a hit in today's day of trade. When it comes to the broader markets too, on the NSE 500, we have one gainer for maybe 5 losers. And yes, you have the likes of Narayan, Hrudalaya, Phoenix Mills, Aegis Logistics, BASF advancing, along with something like ITC, which I'm going to talk about in just a bit. But Indiabulls Housing Finance, on the other hand, is down 34%. Ashok Leyland is something that we will address in just a bit. That's down 25% as well. Future Lifestyle Fashions, Mass Financial Services, Aster DM. There's considerable weakness across. But I'm going to get in our market editor, Neeraj Shah, for his thoughts. Neeraj, of course, the markets were where they were, but I also want to address the India VIX. Tell me, what have you made out of all of the markets today?
Yeah, so multiple things, Agam, you're right. I mean, one, I think it's a clear indication that nobody's interested in buying any kind of bottom, and a rally is getting sold into. And I think a classic example of this, if I can use this, is just a second. I just want to use this Bajaj Finance move today as an example. Now, just look at the intraday move of Bajaj Finance and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is a really blue chip stock. It got bought at the lower levels, went up all the way to 3,000, and the last 1 hour got pummeled out of shape, another 10%. It just shows the nervousness that the markets have around some of these stocks. Now, VIX is higher, and it's not just the India thing, the global perspective as well. Look at the VIX levels that are coming in. For the world. I mean, this is 78.54 for the CBOE VIX. And looking at these charts, people are making an assumption that will VIX go back to the levels that we had in 2008, which was around 90, and can we surpass that? So that plus the India VIX at 72 is indeed very high. So there are issues around. And I think today was a stark example of how, while there is some buying that is happening in select names at bottom levels, Kotak and HDFC Bank, for example, the larger space still remains under cloud. And the market is not making a distinction between blue chips or some of the others, because everybody, like I said, Bajaj Finance got hit. Volumes were very high today, by the way. You can expect F&O volumes to be high because of the options expiry.
Absolutely,
but the cash market volumes, 53,000 crores. Very interesting to see what the FI sell number is looking like today. Thus far, I think 44 or 45,000 crores in this month alone being taken out by the FIs, and this will only add more pressure in the markets.
Well, the domestic institution and the foreign institution numbers are going to be important once again, Neeraj, especially after we saw some amount of buying earlier on the session, and eventually, of course, that was followed by a little more selling coming through. But Neeraj, I also want to talk about one more stock today, and that was Ashok Leyland. We saw a lot of volatility there.
Yeah, so I mean, multiple things. I think we are having some issues with this Hinduja Group stocks, right? So S&P has been having an issue for a while now. Now, the opinion may be divided, but I just think I spoke to a couple of people, and I just think that people would be questioning the capital allocation that Ashok Leyland is trying to do at a time like this. One, the amount that they are looking to spend for buying that stake in their NBFC arm, which is a promoter-related entity, I think, for 1,200 crores. People would question why in these times when autos is going through a nightmarish situation, would Ashok Leyland, which is not like, I mean, all auto balance sheets are right now under, not stress really, but because of the slowdown, there's a question mark. Why would you go out and do that capital allocation strategy right now? And I presume the pricing also slightly higher than what some of the other companies have done. So I think that would possibly be something that might have spooked the stock, and which is why in today's session, I think the stock really came off in the session. And look at this, a 25% drop for Ashok Leyland during the course of the day. So double trouble of sorts. Autos anyway is not in the ship shape, and this decision may be correcting. But good stocks are being bought into. Phoenix Mills up about 17-18%. So maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel, Agam.
Fair enough. Neeraj, thanks for that perspective there. Of course. So
ITC was interesting.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to talk about ITC because that's exactly where I was heading towards. I was going to talk about ITC, and it's one of the top gainers on the index today. Why is that? Well, on the company's website, we had a statement which said that for the FY20, the board has approved a dividend payout policy of 80 to 85% of profits, and this is not only for the ongoing financial year, but in the medium term. Now, they haven't defined what the medium term is. Can it mean more than just the next year, a couple of years, maybe 3-4 years? We don't know that. But for now, we do know for a fact that FY20 will have a dividend payout policy of 80 to 85% of the profits. And the reason why this is a positive development is because over the last 3 years, the average dividend payout stood at around 69, nearly 69% of profits. And well, given the fact that currently ITC is at around 150, 160 odd rupees, well, this comes up to a significant amount of yield as well, as far as the dividend yield is concerned, which comes to anywhere between 6.5% to 7%. That, of course, is a positive, especially after the kind of, the stock stumbles that we've seen for ITC, and that's seen significant underperformance as compared to the rest of the FMCG sector, including some of its top peers. And that's the reason why we have seen ITC advance by quite a bit in today's day of trade. But the real question is, where do domestic as well as foreign institutions stand today? The VIX, which continues to remain at high levels, hasn't given up. This means that there is more volatility in store. That is at least what the market is considering at this point in time. On that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.
According to a recent